Welcome to my education podcast. Today we'll be discussing a major transition in education where grade school teachers move into the adult education world. This could be anything from college professors to becoming a trainer at a business looking to train employees for new positions or skill sets. With this discussion, I want to take a look at a few different aspects or strategies to consider when making this transition. First, we need to look at some key principles of adult education. Then we'll need to identify some practices that have seen a lot of success in the world of adult education. Next, we will take a look at some success stories that people have made in this during this transition. And finally, we'll take a look at some concerns and hesitations within the field. One of the main principles in that differentiate pedagogy and andragogy is the motivation to learn. In grade school, teachers are met with so much resistance from students who do not care about learning certain subjects due to lack of interest. They know that they need the class to graduate, but there is no motivation to learn that information. In adult learning, though, adults tend to show more eagerness to learn when they see how it can benefit different areas of their lives. Another principle is that adult learning is oftentimes more about solving problems within their lives rather than trying to pass a particular test. If an adult sees a weakness within his work or an area that needs improvement in order to make money or be promoted, they would be more willing to solve that problem and attend a class to help them advance. The last principle we will talk about is that need to know. We live in an age where information is often at our fingertips, and still some information needs to be better explained. This is where adult education comes in. Teachers fill in those gaps that a full understanding is given, and then a full understanding is given to them. Those that seek this extra information are motivated by their need to know, and it often makes them better learners. In teaching, there are a lot of strategies that can be used for both adult and children learning. There are those that we look at more in the adult section, however, because their age and life experiences. Focusing on their life experience is one of those strategies that tends to be more for adult learners because they actually do have life experience. Teach your class using those experiences to make those lessons more relatable to the learner. Making some lessons more hands-on oriented is a good strategy as well. Some learners need to physically do something in order to understand it and trust their own feelings and emotions about what they're learning, and they lean on that motto of "let me do it." Lastly, one of the main strategies I found that works better in the adult setting is keeping the lessons relevant. Adults tend to stay on borrowed time, and their time is valuable to them. Teachers need to remember to keep their lessons on point so that we're not wasting their time and they get all the important information that they need within that class. There are countless success stories of those transitions from the grade school to adult education in learning. But one that sticks out to me on a more personal level is with a family member of mine. In school, he showed little to no interest and would eventually drop out of school. He would go back and get his GED, but the lessons he was learning in those environments did not interest him, and the teachers did not have time to meet him on an individual level to see what all he was going through on a personal side. Later in life, he began to get the desire to improve his situation, as we all do. He took some classes to improve the areas that he needed and would eventually become a trainer for a large company. He used those lessons that he learned and wanted to pass those on to other people that may have been more like him. He saw the value in teaching new recruits in the ins and outs of the jobs they were walking into. He leaned on their experience and also his own as a successful teacher, remembering his own struggles and ensured that his students had the relevant information in front of them. He never wasted his time because he knew how valuable it was to them. He's still having success with his profession, although he's at a different company now. Lastly, I want to take a look at some concerns in teaching adults. One of the main concerns with that adults learn is that adults learn differently. This means that you're going to have to take the time to teach every student differently and find ways to motivate them differently. If you can reassure your students that your skills are growing within the classroom and recognize their hard work and having supportive community with the classmates, you can potentially overcome this hurdle though. Another major concern is understanding that adults have more on their plate than children do. Oftentimes they're balancing a family, a work, social life, and other responsibilities to go along with just attending school. As a teacher, it's important to understand this and make every attempt to work around it to best fit their needs while still giving out that necessary information. Making the transition from pedagogy to andragogy can be a difficult one, oftentimes more difficult than one may realize. Teachers need to find a way to reach new students with time and effort. The transition can be an easy one. Adapt with your new profession and be ready to make changes that better the lives of your students and make you a better teacher in the long run. Thank you.